What's up, family? How y'all doing? It's the boy, Urban Sports Guru, and I want to holler at y'all. This is my Week 11 NFL picks. Week 11, and we're gonna start off with Tampa Bay Bucks versus my New York Giants. Now, we have JPP coming back. Now we traded JPP mainly because what he was doing, he was picking up big sack numbers against bad teams, against good teams. He wasn't doing shit. He really wasn't keeping on the tradition of giant defenders. From Lawrence Taylor, Keith Hamilton, Michael Strahan. He wasn't really keeping on that tradition. Now he's playing on a bad defense, and they have a bad defense, and they're 3-6, and he's putting up numbers that, you know, how can I put? It's kind of like empty calorie numbers for me. He has 9 sacks, but it's kind of like, how can I put it? Almost garbage time numbers, so to speak. So a lot of them, and I'm not completely blown away by the numbers he's putting up. I'm really not, and I think all in all, I think the Giants made the right move. I stand by that. I said it then. I stand by it now. So what? You want to talk all this shit because you're coming to the Meadowlands? Fuck you. Keep banging, and Tampa Bay gonna lose. I'm rolling with my boys. Fuck you, JPP. But anyway, second game, we got Cowboys versus the Falcons. And as much as it pains me, it fucking pains me to say this, but much as it fucking pains me to say this, but the Dallas Cowboys are gonna win this game. The Dallas fucking Cowboys are gonna win this game. And they're going to win this game because actually I think they're not going to fuck this up. They're going to give the ball to Ezekiel Elliott at least 25 times. Atlanta's defense is not good. And they're horrible against the run. They're very light in the ass. Dallas is not the offensive line they had the last few years, but it's still damn good. And they're still big as fuck. And they maul you. They maul you, and that's what they're going to end up doing. They're going to keep Atlanta's offense off the field, and Tyron Smith is playing this year. So the fact that Tyron Smith is playing this year, guess what? Zach Prescott is not going to get sacked 6 times by Adrian Claiborne, whoever the fuck else they got there trying to rush the passer. That's not going to happen. But as I love to see Dallas lose, and I do, y'all know this, Dallas Cowboys are going to win this game. They won't win the division, but they'll win this game. Now, Panthers versus Lions. I think this is a perfect storm for the Panthers because this is the kind of team they need to get their swagger back. The thing about the Panthers that make me not a true believer in them is Cam Newton. And I say that because, Cam Newton's completion percentage is all up. But right now, everybody having a high completion percentage because they're not allowed to play defense. And Cam Newton, to me, and I'm saying this now, Cam Newton to me is a football equivalent to Allen Iverson. And I say that because if you want him to just be alone and do his thing, he can do that fine. But if you want him to make good players better, to make other good players better, I don't think that's Cam. Because he's so much in Cam doing Cam that it doesn't make the other guys better. Like when I watched that Pittsburgh game, in that first drive, that was the first time in years that I saw him run read option and give the running back the ball. If y'all watch this show, y'all have heard me say this numerous times. When Cam's running read option, don't go after the running back, hit Cam. Why? He never gives him the ball. Never. His keep percentage on read option is significantly higher than anyone else in the NFL. And that was the first time. They ran it 5-6 times on that drive. And every single time he gave the ball to Christian McCaffrey. And damn near every single time was a first down. In one drive. Christian McCaffrey had like 5 first downs in one drive. All on read plays. All Cam let him have it. Like, I need to see more of that from Cam Newton if they're going to hit the next level and not just be kind of like an Allen Iverson on the football field. know what I'm saying? Where yes, he's electric. Yes, Cam is very, very talented. He's gonna put up. He's gonna put up some wild plays. He's gonna do all those things. But he's gonna make Sports Center. But he's not gonna win a Super Bowl. When you have a team whose all offense is solely about stopping one guy, as much as that may fuck up some defensive coordinators, but at the end of the day, when you say, hold on, all I gotta do is stop one nigga, that's all, stop one guy, one motherfucker, fuck that shit. You saw what Denver did in the Super Bowl. Stop one guy. Stop one guy. So moving forward, I don't see them challenging for the Super Bowl, but they are still a good football team. And this is the kind of game they need to get their swagger back. Now, Carolina's going to win. Now, moving forward, in a very good game, we have the Titans versus the Colts. Now, the Titans, we all know how good their defense is. If you didn't know, look what they did to Dallas a couple of weeks ago. And I like what Mike Vrabel got cooking down there. I'm just not the biggest fan of Marcus Mariota. I keep saying that. I'm going to keep on fucking saying that because it's just the way the fuck I feel. You got to do shit to make me, you know what I'm saying, change my view of you. Like Mitch Trubisky is doing that right now. But I'll get to him in a little bit. Is doing that a little bit. However, I'm going to take the Colts in this game because defensively they're playing better. But offensively, that offensive line is balling right now. Quentin Nelson is putting foot to ass, as we've seen in that video. And and they're protecting Andrew Luck. For the first time in Andrew Luck's career, he's actually being protected. And Andrew Luck is starting to look again like Andrew Luck. They're starting to be able to run the football, which is something Andrew Luck never had also. I'm going to take the Colts in a close game. Now, in a very, very good game, we have the Texans versus the Redskins. Texans versus Redskins. Now, both teams are 6-3. Redskins I like very much because I like their defense. It's just that the offense has a hard time scoring points. They have a real hard time scoring points because they can't challenge you down the field. Everything is about them bludgeoning you to death. So if you're able to control their run game with Adrian Peterson, you really can slow them down. We already know Alex Smith is just kind of try to manage the game and not fuck anything up. It's all about can Deshaun Watson not protect the football and not make any turnovers. I'm going to roll with Deshaun Watson on this one because Redskins having some issues on the offensive line, while the Texans' offensive line has been playing better. So, for that reason, I'm going to go with the Texans. They have more firepower, and if they get ahead early, Redskins have never come from behind all year this year. They're able to get ahead early. I really like what Houston's going to be able to do. Moving forward, we have the Steelers versus the Jaguars. Now, the Steelers versus the Jaguars. Now, this is not the game now that the NFL thought this was going to be at the beginning of the year. Yes, the Jaguars defensively are still ranked very high, particularly against the pass. But that just shows me this is going to have to be a James Conner football game. Now, the Steelers are going through because they realize they're not going to have Le'Veon Bell. And I think as the season goes on, especially come playoff time, they're going to miss Le'Veon Bell. And y'all know how I feel about the sucker shit they've done to Le'Veon Bell. Especially when they're going in here tracking, you know what I'm saying, taking all the shit and all that. Nah, I think that was a fucking sucker-ass move. I don't respect it. In my time playing sports and all my time in prison, you don't go in another man's locker. You don't do that shit. No. That's just not something you do. That shit is like something that warrants hands and feet. And they cross the line, in my opinion. However, Jaguars just can't score points. In Pittsburgh, that offense is rolling. And defensively, y'all know how much I like TJ Watt. Pittsburgh's going to win. Bengals versus Ravens. Number one question, who's starting that quarterback? Joe Flacco? I don't know. RG3? I don't know. Lamar Jackson? I don't know. This little guessing game is the reason why I still think they're going to lose regardless of who the fuck starts. I think they're gonna lose regardless who the fuck starts. Because you look at Cincinnati after getting the shit kicked out of them by the Saints last week. Getting the shit kicked out of them the way they did. I think they got something to prove, and I think they're gonna look like the team that they were looking like early in the year. And they handled Baltimore, albeit on a Thursday night. I think the offense is going to look like what is it? I know AJ is not going to be there, but the offenses are going to look good, and they're scoring enough points, and they'll win a close game, even because the defensively, they're just not stopping anybody right now. But I expect them to play with some passion because they got embarrassed last week. So, Raiders versus Cardinals, 1-8 versus 2-7. I'm going to take the Cardinals solely because I think Josh Rosen's on the upswing, and the Raiders, they're basically, well, I don't even think they know what the fuck they're doing. John Gruden came there, and you took a team that was talented, that was, you know what I'm saying, could have did something, and in my opinion, wasn't far away from really competing. They just needed a couple other pieces to really compete. At the very least, you can compete the way Kansas City's competing, mainly on the offensive side. But something else you could have did other than what they're doing. They're playing for next year. I'm taking the Cardinals in that game. Now, Broncos versus Chargers. I'm saying you're in the Chargers. Chargers quietly. I think everyone else is starting to jump on the bandwagon. Quietly. Chargers. My pick for the AFC in the Super Bowl. And I'm sticking by that. Chargers. Now, Eagles versus the Saints. That's a marking game. And the Super Bowl champs are done. I'm saying it. Super Bowl champs are fucking done. They're 4-5. Unless they win out, and I don't see that. Problem is, when you looked at last year's team, they ran the football last year. This team does not. They don't run the football the way they did last year. They got so many great players. It was reminiscent of how the Rams was doing things last year. Because when you look at the Rams and how they score, and I'll get to them in a minute, so much of what they do is all play action. Philly last year with Carson Wentz, they got so many great big plays off of play action. Guess what? That's not happening this year. Why is it not happening? They're not running the football. They're not running the football. So you can't run play action when you're not running the football effectively. And defensively, they're still stout. Even though they got embarrassed last week, I expect them to play better. But it's just, can they going into New Orleans and beating Drew Brees? Not an easy thing. Not an easy thing at all. They could be competitive. They could make it a game, make it ugly. Doug Peterson, you gotta have to sprinkle some fairy dust on them and get their mojo back, because I don't see it. If anything, they'll lose it in the fourth quarter instead of losing in the first, because New Orleans is the best team in football right now, and they kicking ass and taking names. Matter of fact, they ain't even taking names. They don't go fuck what your name is. We just hit a whoop ass. Get the fuck out of our way. New Orleans gonna win that. Now we got the Vikings, a very good game This week we have the Vikings versus the Bears. Now, the Bears defense has played how they played this year, and Mitch Trubisky has really, really impressed me. He really has. There's so much you see what a coaching change could do for a quarterback, especially particularly these young quarterbacks. However, the Vikings, because of their talent, I think superior talent on both sides of the ball. You know what I'm saying? The defense has been playing better in recent weeks, and they've had this extra time to prepare. I'm going to take the Vikings in a close game. A close, hard-fought game. I'm going to take the Vikings. As the season goes on, I think more and more you're going to see the Vikings start to look more like the team that everyone thought they was going to be. I think they'll fall short of that a little bit, but they're going to start looking more and more like that team. And the premier matchup this weekend, we got 9-1 Kansas City against 9-1 Los Angeles Rams. That was supposed to be played in Mexico City because of poor field conditions being played in LA. So it's a true home game for the Rams. However, I want to pick the Chiefs really, really bad. I really do. Some people think it's a possible Super Bowl preview. I want to pick the Chiefs because, but the thing that's going to separate this game, and everybody's talking about the quarterbacks. I said this when the Rams played New Orleans. As great as the quarterbacks played, it wasn't about the quarterbacks. The running back who had the better game is who was going to win. And I said it then, I said it in an IG post. Alvin Kamara is not better than Todd Gurley. But that day, he will be better than Todd Gurley. On Monday night, I do not believe the Chiefs running back, I'm forgetting his name at the moment, will be better than Todd Gurley. I think Todd Gurley will be the best running back there, and that is why the Rams will win. Because as much as I like Jared Goff, and he's very, very accurate with the football downfield, I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Like, he's starting to really make me rethink about who is better between him and Jared Goff, between him and Carson Wentz. However, both of them seem to be products of systems with their particular coaches, but that's a whole nother story for another day. However, so much of what they do is based off Todd Gurley, who is an MVP candidate, has already rushed for almost nearly 1,000, 998 to be exact, and is approaching on the touchdown record. So this is what's making Jared Goff look like Jared Goff this year. You know what I'm saying? So just like the great running game that Philly had last year, made Carson Wentz in the MVP last year before he got hurt. So I think the team who's running back is going to be superior that night is going to win. And I think Monday night, the superior running game will be from Los Angeles, and the Rams are going to win. They'll be 10-1, and they'll beat the Chiefs. That's my picks. Let me know how you feel about it. Let me know where you disagree, where you agree. It's me, your boy, your own sports guru. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'm out. Salute.